People with epilepsy can play in the NFL or be a Supreme Court justice. Still, someone can lose their job or not get a job because they have seizures. Fortunately, things are starting to change.
The overwhelming majority of people with epilepsy can work despite having epilepsy, because most people seize for a number of reasons. Seizures are episodic. When you're not having a seizure, for many people it doesn't affect them at all. And the majority of people can have their seizures controlled with current medications. So there are many people who would say, I don't need any help in the workplace. I just want to work and I'm able to work.
And those are the people that, a lot of those people don't tell anybody. My son, for example, he's not seizure-free, but he, along with a lot of people, you just don't even know they have epilepsy. They're a normal part of a workplace. So what rights do people that are working at companies have?
First of all, it's very important that everybody with epilepsy know that the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, covers people with epilepsy and seizure disorders, which means you do have employment rights not to be discriminated against because you have a condition like epilepsy. As long as you can do the essential functions of the job, you can't automatically say a person with epilepsy can't do X job. You have to really look at what are the essential functions. So that's really important. An accommodation has to be reasonable, not unduly hard on the company. Again, a factual question. Then, under the ADA, any employer that has more than 15 employees is bound by the law to offer a reasonable accommodation.
And I'll give you an example of one that I know of, which is if you have epilepsy, sometimes you have a hard time getting to work at 6 a.m.
Yes.
I mean, you need sleep. Sleep is important. A nap could be possibly important.
Yes.
So that might be something where it's like, is there a place that I can just rest my head for 15 minutes? I know Jake, it's a huge difference whether he has a nap during the day or not.
And that's what the ADA is talking about as well. And it's just a question of negotiating with the employer over those kinds of details. So in order to do that, of course, you then would have to reveal to the employer that you have a disability and that you require a specific, or you would like a specific accommodation.
And does that go on a permanent record somewhere? Once you reveal it, is it?
Well, I would say permanent record is it's a hard question to answer, but certainly the employer and HR might know that, but they're supposed to separate those details from the rest of the workplace unless your supervisor needs to know.
Okay.
And that's also a safety factor. We know many people don't tell their employer that they have epilepsy until they're actually on the job and working. And that's it's a personal decision for people to make. There can be consequences that are negative if you tell, so people wait and see. Do I really need to, is now the time? I think it's a good idea to let somebody in the workplace know that if you have a seizure, this is what you should do.
The best way to make the workplace better for people with epilepsy is for everyone to learn more and to talk about it. I'm Joe MANTEGNA. Thanks for talking about it.